$50,000. You wouldn't give up, Kenai?
No, I wouldn't give him up for $50,000.
$100,000.
$100,000. No.
$200,000.
You're joking me.
We are not very good at timelines. And actually, we're going to talk about that. Being influencers with ADHD.
Country music is for white people.
That's infuriating, actually.
That is insane.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
That sounded so good.
Oh, it did.
Girl, you got a
You're trying to
talent.
play me right now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Beyond the Feed podcast. My name is Kalia.
And I'm James.
And we're so excited you guys are here. This is episode 5. And, right? Why'd you look at me like that?
I don't know. Your guess is best as mine.
Oh, okay, you looked at me like I was wrong. No, it definitely
I think
is.
It's fine. So what's been up?
You know, same old, same old. Our tree, y'all, fell in our backyard and in our front yard. So one day, it was.
No, you got it. It's a multiple day thing. Nature's going crazy right now for us.
Absolutely insane. It was like midday and I hear like a bang almost, and Kenai starts going crazy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what is that? And I go to the front yard and our freaking tree in our front yard, just like a big chunk of it fell.
Yep.
And I was like, what the heck? Like, literally, it was, like, into the front door. Like, that's how big it is. Like, it went all the way, like, it touched the front door.
Wild.
And so then the next day, I come downstairs to let Kenai out, and our tree in our backyard completely fell over.
Like, from the bottom. Not where the roots, but it just snapped right at the bottom.
And this tree isn't as big. Like, it's probably like that thick,
yeah.
Right? But the tree in the front yard is like...
It's a bigger tree for
like
sure.
That thick. And it was only a piece of that one fell out, but the one in the backyard, not as big, but still for it to just fall over like that, like there was no sign of that happening. The one in our front yard, branches have fallen out. Like this is the third time a big chunk of it has fallen off. So not as surprising, but the one in the backyard. And
I was very surprised. It was doing so good. I've had so many problems with that tree.
Yeah.
And it finally
started looking good. You did just say that like last week. You're like, man, this tree's looking so good. I
was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to cut the tree down.
Yeah, you were gonna cut it down
because I didn't like it, but now I was like, it's putting out a lot of leaves. It looks kind of good. It's starting to grow. Okay, just need a little bit of TLC, and apparently not because it fell over. So it was tough because this week in general has been chaos.
Yeah, it really has.
It started with me having a lot of confidence in putting in Kalia's sink that
but babe,
some of y'all know about.
Honestly, that wasn't your fault though. Like,
yeah, but it was just, I should know automatic. If you're going to do a house project, if you're going to do it DIY, it's probably going to be more than what you thought.
And also not to do it, in the middle of the week.
I didn't want to wait for the weekend because weekends we got to make content.
You said wait for the weekend, but we had several weekends where we could have done it, and you were like, no. I'm like, hey, you want to put it in the sink this weekend? You're like, no. And then he decided to do it some random, like, what was it,
it's
Tuesday?
Like
Monday. Monday he got home from work, and he was like, I was sitting on the couch, and all I hear is him come from the garage, and he's holding the sink, and I'm like, are you going to put it up? You gonna put it in?
I'm a momentum guy. So if I got momentum to do something, I'm going to do it. And I felt some momentum that day. I think I got home at a decent time after work, and I was like feeling real Bob the Builder. And I was like, you know what? Let's go for it, because if I don't ever start it, like, obviously it's not gonna get done. I gotta just do it, just whatever. So I started it. First thing I go to do is, turn off the hot water, turn off the cold water up under the sink. I could have turned it off at the side of the house, but I decided, maybe they'll still use the bathroom and whatnot. I'll just turn it off up under the sink. So I go to turn it off, the hot water, and it was stuck. So I put a little extra oomph on it and broke the pipe back to the wall. Broke the pipe. Water started
flying out. Like... hot
water right at me. I was like, oh. And I hopped up real quick, and I was sprinting out the house, slipping in water, going to the side to cut it off. I was
just saying, I was like, and I had just stopped recording. Like, I wish I would have still been recording. Like, I had just stopped recording when that happened. Yeah. And I'm also just not in the moment. Like, I had my phone in my hand. I was just kind of like watching. Like, I didn't, like, I was
Terrible.
like, and you were like, oh, and he got up. He's like almost slipping, running out the house. Like, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, towels. So I went to the laundry room to go get towels.
It was a lot.
You were not happy either. Once we started cleaning it up and you got the water off, I was laughing. And James was just like
I was.
He was not laughing.
Because I was like, oh, this went from an easy project to a not so easy project. Because now I got to go to Lowe's and I got to get all this extra stuff. The P-trap was broke. It had been leaking for a little bit. I found that out whenever I was taking everything out.
I wonder if people know what that is, because truly, if I'm listening to this and the P-trap, what the heck is that? Like, now I know what it is.
If you look up under your sink, it's
a pipe.
It's in the shape of a P. Just so
really?
Yeah, it keeps water in there so the stank from the sewer doesn't come back into your house.
But anyways, he finally got it all figured out a couple days later.
I still don't.
But that's the only reason. Like, truly, that's not even your fault. That's the only reason why it took you so long. Like, if that didn't happen, like, you would have been done with it, like, really quick.
The new sink looks good though.
So good.
Very happy. I'm
obsessed. Yeah. I'm gonna be making some videos with that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right, I expect it now because it was a lot of work, a lot more than I bargained for. Between that and then the trees falling. I had to get those cut up. I was like, I'm dealing with too much with the sink. I'm just going to pay somebody to come cut it up.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we got to get rid of that tree. And we really don't want to.
No, I'm so sad about that. So, someone's coming to cut it down tomorrow, which I'm not very happy about. But
yeah, I just can't risk it falling on somebody or a vehicle. But yeah, past that, the week's been all right. Not too bad. I don't know when we're posting this, but the eclipse happened. I don't know what people were.
This will be out next week because we have one going. So yeah, so like last week is when the eclipse happened. Yeah. So
we just put a timeline on it, so I hope that happens.
That it is. What are you talking about?
We are not very good at timelines, and actually, we're going to talk about that. Being influencers with ADHD. Welcome to the show, because that's what it is, a show.
Okay, so let's just I don't even know. I'm just going to speak to y'all like you don't know. Because maybe you don't. Some of y'all maybe do, but some of y'all maybe don't. So, social media is my full-time job. And James still has another job that is pretty much his full-time job. And social media is really his part-time job that he does full-time still at the same time. So, and I just lost my train of thought. What do you...
Welcome to the show. ADHD.
Okay, yeah. So just navigating like deadlines and times and stuff like that, and like hasn't been my friend. I will say though, it's improved a lot from when I like first started doing, because I went from being in soccer full time and school full time, like playing collegiate soccer and whatnot, to where I was on someone else's like schedule. Had a lot of people surrounding me, holding me accountable on a daily basis. Like rarely ever did I like, yes, you have to hold yourself accountable, but rarely did I really was my sole accountability, you know? And so for like, I feel like the first year, it was like really hard for me to like, just be on a schedule, like on my own schedule, not following what someone else is, like where there's consequences if I don't show up. You know, if you don't show up to class, there's consequences. If you don't show up to practice, there's consequences and whatnot. Going from that to being at home full time, and my job is all relied on literally me. Like there's no consequences, like a verbal consequence. You know what I mean? So
it's not a verbal.
No, like I mean, like like I'm saying, like there's no authority figure who's like going to strike me down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
Kalia doesn't want an authority figure because I've been there. I've been like, hey, we need to post. No, you post then.
No, I mean, I've never. No.
I mean, well.
No, I would say it just like got. I don't know. It's just different. Okay.
No, it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, but
because I haven't even got to your point yet. Because as soon as I got out of college, I had a job.
Yeah.
So I was never in the phase where I didn't have somebody still planning my days.
Yeah.
And I thought whenever you were talking about that, I was like, oh yeah, I've been there. But I realized like all our weekends, I'm like, when I have a weekend and we end up not getting nothing done, I'm like, that's just on the weekend. I can't imagine if I had 7 days.
Yeah.
It would just be free reign for me to be like, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
No, literally,
that's
because
tough.
nobody's gonna tell you like,
because tomorrow is free. you don't have.
for instance, you don't show up to practice, then okay, you just decided you don't want to show up to practice.
Yeah.
Okay, you're probably running sprints the next day when you do show up to practice, or you're getting kicked off the team, or like there's so many consequences that come with that. Whereas even if like you don't show up to class, like okay, you're getting marked down for not showing up to class, like that's counted towards, your end of the year grade or whatever, or you may get kicked out of the class, like if you're in college or whatever the case may be. Like with social media and like working for yourself and working at home, if I don't do it, like there's like what's really gonna happen? Like
Right.
there's nobody's telling me like Instagram and TikTok aren't gonna like ban my account if I don't post for a couple of days,
Right.
so there's that, like, so it just went from like trying to shift that mindset, and I'm not perfect, I still struggle with it, but it's honestly, I would say it's almost night and day from how it used to be to now, and I still need to improve a lot more, but like it really is like it was like a mindset of having to switch that around.
You've done a lot better though, for sure.
My ADHD is like, I didn't find out I had ADHD though until like college, like my junior year, even though I really like probably should have known because like a lot of my family members had it. So like, I don't know, I just didn't start taking medicine for it or anything like that until halfway through college. So that is a whole nother topic on itself.
But it makes it so difficult to be on time or like, I guess just on schedule with stuff that you plan on doing, because we're like, okay, we're going to do this podcast. We're going to post one a week. I don't know if y'all been keeping up. It ain't been one a week though.
Yeah.
We'll procrastinate and then we'll get to the end and we'll find something else, do some other project, or we're not feeling it.
Yeah.
It's just always.
And honestly, this is just us being very honest and transparent with y'all, because I feel like also I don't feel like I see or hear enough like influencers or just people who do social media talking about like the pros and cons of it. Like I feel like from an outside point of view, it makes social media looks very glamorous and very great. And granted, do not get me wrong at all. This is our dream job. Like this is a blessing to be able to do this. Like for me to be able to do this as my full-time job and drop out of grad school to do this is a blessing in itself. But like everything, there's pros and cons to it, and I think like social media and society has made becoming an influencer and stuff like this glamorous lifestyle.
Sounds cute.
It does. It sounds real cute. It sounds real cute, and it is cute, but it also is ugly at times, like, and it's not as easy as it seems. Like I feel like you have to truly have a passion and want to do it. Otherwise it can be a struggle. And even if you do have a passion and want to do it like I do, like you're still going to struggle at times. Yeah. Like, so
it's not a hobby. If you think you're going to get on here and do a bunch of stuff as a hobby,
it can be a hobby.
Good for you. I don't know if it's going to go how you plan it to go.
Yeah.
But some people are good. I will say some people just have that natural knack. I don't really have, maybe I do have the natural knack. I just don't really care to do it as much.
What do you mean natural knack?
I'm funny. I just do whatever I do. I'm funny. I don't know. I act crazy or something and you film it and it works a lot of the times. But actually being like enthusiastic and like coming home or something and being in the headspace to be like, all right, let's make this video and be disciplined all the time and boom, 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 boom. I'm like, man, I don't want to sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we really heard other influencers talk about it until SGCC.
Yeah.
they were like, if you have an idea, if you want to do something, do it right then and there. Because if you wait for tomorrow, you're not going to be feeling the same. You're not going to want to, you're not going to have that enthusiasm. You're not going to want to do it.
Just do it whenever you are like, yeah, let's do like, but the only thing with that is a little bit tough is like, it's a partnership, and so like I'll be like wanting to do it, but he won't, or he'll be wanting to do it and I won't, you know, like, and because there'll be, whenever he's at work, I'll get those like moments where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'll do it, but the majority of our social media is like us together, so like even like yesterday I wanted to film like a YouTube video, but like you weren't here, so I'm like, okay, well, I can't really do this, you know?
Now, that happens to me with comments. Because comments, I have to be in the mood. If I'm not in the mood for comments,
Which is so crazy.
I'm not good at commenting back. Like, if you leave a comment on our video, which I hope that you do, because we do see majority of them. We see a lot of the comments.
I see I see all of them.
But getting myself to actually comment back, I feel like after a little bit I'm just commenting the same thing back, and it's repetitive, and it's a lot of extrovert things, and I'm not there.
I feel like you will though be, you know, like I think it comes also, I feel like we need to just give ourselves grace and like patience at times, because you know, like you're your biggest critic, and I feel like a lot of these other like influencers that we look up to and stuff, like other couples and stuff, they've been doing it for so long, like a lot longer. Like once I started really watching their content, I realized like I would hear them say like, oh yeah, they've been doing it for this, and I'm like, wait,
how long have we been doing it? 4 years?
When we first started, we were doing it as a hobby. Like it was not one, we were in sports in college, so we weren't getting paid to do it. We were literally doing it for fun. I don't know what you're doing that little head for.
Kalia was doing it as a hobby. I saw potential. I was like,
no, I saw potential, but babe, I'm saying like, yeah, we both saw potential, but we were doing it for fun.
You know what? Maybe that's why I didn't want to do it at first, because I was like, that's not a hobby I want to pick up. But you wanted to do it, and you had been doing it. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but go far enough back in our TikToks, and you'll see.
Delete them.
Don't delete them.
Okay, stop.
You can't
stop telling people that, because you keep. That's like the third time you told, and now you just told everyone who's watching this.
Kalia, she was so excited about social media, and she had been saying for a long time that she wanted to do it, and she was really excited. And I was just like, I don't want to dance on video.
Okay, that's because what TikTok
I don't want to do it.
That's what TikTok was known for when they first started becoming popular. I'm like, you don't have to only dance. Like, I mean, granted,
at the time it was like very dancey. It was
that in skits.
Yeah, like, that in skits for sure. It was before the vlog, before like the daily. It was more of skits and dances, and Kalia got us to do some dances together. Yeah. But then once I saw the potential of it, I was like, you know what? First, it's not bad. We actually have fun doing it. So it was like we were having fun, and I saw that we could actually do pretty good in it. So I was like, all right, let's keep making these little videos or whatever.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like it was just a hobby, because like we were full-time sports in school. Like we would do videos. Like it was so much fun. Not saying that it's not fun to make them anymore, but like the viewpoint has like shifted from it being like just like let's do them on the weekend when we have, or like it's Friday night, let's make some videos, like they're so fun, you know, to where like it's like we have to make them. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Now,
we still enjoy it,
now
but
I just really love that it's like it's not so much skitty. It's not so much like dancey. Like every now and then we will break out a dance or like do a little skit. But I feel like now more so it's more of like us. Yeah. It's like actually authentic us doing stuff. I feel like
if you go back and look at the beginning of like our TikTok, and we keep saying TikTok because for those of you guys who don't know, we like started on TikTok. That's like where we started social media and whatnot. But
TikTok hates us now.
Yeah, we're over on YouTube now. YouTube all the way. I swear.
And Instagram.
Yeah. But I just completely lost my train of thought.
Welcome to the show.
That happens a lot.
It happens to both of us, though.
No, it happens to me way too often.
Like we were talking about today, I have to have momentum, and then I'll be focused on one thing, and I can't do anything else. I'll be locked in doing that thing, and Kalia will like be doing one thing, not finish it, go to something else, not finish it, go to something else, not finish it, come back to something that she didn't finish, finish it, and then like forget that she was doing XYZ. It's madness. I don't know how she does it, but she does it, and it works.
ADHD, that's why.
I turned 28.
You did.
28 now. I gotta hydrate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, getting old. Feel it in the mornings. Now I'm like,
do you really? You're not getting old. Babe, we've said this. We need to stop saying that. You're not getting old.
I'm getting young?
You're so young. You're not getting young, but you are young.
Thanks, babe.
You stop saying you're getting old, though.
You're right. You're right.
Because what do you... If you're getting old, then what do you say when you turn 40? What do you say when you turn 50?
I'm getting old.
When you're 60. So you're just going to... You're telling yourself you're going to be old for the rest of your life from here on out.
Old's not a bad thing. I like being old.
You say it.
I like being old. Old's
wise.
not bad.
You like being wise.
Yeah.
Say that.
I'm a little bit childish sometimes.
You are. A lot of the time, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope you never lose that, though.
I doubt it. I doubt I will.
I doubt it, too. Even though it annoys me sometimes.
I think kids are going to bring it out more.
Even more. Yes.
Oh, my goodness. When we have kids.
I was watching this video today of this little boy, and he was... it was like getting my son's reactions to the different meals I made him for the week or something like that. It was, have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh my gosh,
cute, though.
it is adorable. Like every single time that he like takes a bite of food or like she gives him all these different meals and he's like, thank you, Mom. Like he's just like, his eyes are rolling in the back of his head. He's like, oh my gosh, that's so good. And like whenever you see kids behaving a certain way, it's usually because they've seen it from someone else.
That's true.
And so, and I've seen videos of like his dad.
Doing the same thing?
And I'm not the same thing, but just like I can see that like that's where he's picking it up from. Like that's probably like how his dad acts. So I was just thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, like all the different mannerisms and how James acts, like that is how our kids are like, especially our son. I just see him acting like that for sure.
That's going to be so much fun. All of our friends are having children.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, they're all having children. And I'm like, man, good for y'all. That's awesome. And we're going to get there. But, you know, we got to get married first and whatnot and all this stuff. But once we get there, I'm going to be so excited.
Me too.
I would be excited right now. But I'm going to be very excited when we have our first kid. That is going to be great.
It is.
I'm going to love being a dad.
No.
Oh my goodness. even with our dog Kenai, I know that's not a human, but I'm like starting to love him.
You can't say that for like over a year. Like you've been saying that. I'm starting to love him. Like what do you mean?
I mean, Kenai has a price, and I know that's unpopular.
Why you really want to get into this right now? What you mean he has a price?
$50,000.
Why do we even have to say he has a price?
$50,000. You wouldn't give up Kenai?
No, I wouldn't give him up for $50,000.
50?
That's it. $50,000.
$100,000.
$100,000.
Yeah, change your life. Kenai, out of here.
No.
He's only got 10 years left.
Yeah, and hopefully. If I can't make $100,000 in 10 years, then we have another problem.
You know, that is true. That is true. But, you know, it's the 100,000 hill mark. Once you get to 100,000, then it gets easier. But that first 100,000 is pretty tough. So that could help you get there a lot quicker.
No.
No?
No.
$200,000.
You're joking me.
Would you ever?
James.
Any number?
Harrison.
Any number.
Homan. No. 100. That's ridiculous. You would piss me off.
I love Kenai.
That is ridiculous.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like with a kid, like there's no price ever, no way. With Kenai, the price is getting higher. That's what I was getting at. Really, I'm starting to love him more.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. He is a great dog. But no, we're gonna be great parents, I think.
I know. I'm excited.
Especially because we're on the same like wavelength when it comes to like how we want to raise them.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. Like how I feel like it's so important to have the same, like, even when you're just dating and stuff, like whoever you're dating at the time, like it doesn't matter if you guys were raised differently, but just to know like how you want to raise your kids or something like that. Like I feel like that's so important.
There's no way this video is real. There's no way this.
So basically the video was of this girl saying how if you're black, like country, you're not country.
There's no way that video is real. That's so wild. That's infuriating, actually.
That is insane. Okay, well, so James just went to use the restroom, and I just started scrolling on TikTok, and the first video that popped up was that you grew up in the country, but I didn't, and the community that I was raised around and the people who I was raised around, like, it genuinely always thought growing up. And I don't even remember it being anything that I was told or anything. I think it was just the people who I was surrounded by. Mm-hmm. I always thought, like black people don't like country music. Like, and I hated country music. And I never saw any black person listen to country music. I always thought that is, like, white people music. Like, always. Like, that was just, it wasn't because someone told me that. It was just, like, the community I was around, like, I never saw a single black person wear cowboy boots or, like, anything like that. First of all, I didn't like country music until I met James. And he's the one who introduced. Now I love it. Like, absolutely love it. I have, like, 3 pairs of boots. Like.
She has more boots than I have.
Yeah, I do.
That's wild. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess growing up in a small town, like, there's levels of country for sure. I'm not the countryest of country, but I feel like I'm still country. I'm just not redneck, like way deep. Nah, I'm not there. But growing up in a small town, it's like everybody knows everybody, and there's white folk, there's Mexican people, there's black people, there's Asian, there's every race, but everybody knows everybody, and it's more so like a community. It's like we're all from the same place. You might not like each other, but you're gonna respect each other, and if you're not gonna respect each other, then you're gonna get beat up or something. But for the most part, it's everybody respects everybody.
But I feel like there are towns that are not like that though. I think because Brenham is so close to Houston,
bigger towns.
Like, you mean like bigger towns don't have like a lot of different races?
No, I feel like bigger towns just don't have like the country aspect. Like, oh, you're in Houston or you live in Cypress, Texas. You got money, you got daddy's money, and you buy you a big old souped up truck and da-da-da. You wear a cowboy hat and boots in your country. But you live on less than an acre and you ain't never done anything in the country. Just because you got a truck don't make you country.
Okay, so you're saying like growing like country, you grow up in a small town usually.
I feel like it is, and it's not to be like, oh, like you're more country because you do this or whatever, but it's just like, I don't know, it's more of a small town feel.
Yeah, rather than like a trend in a bigger town type thing. Like, yeah, I get that.
Like, I gotta go a ways, and not even that part. I know my neighbors, Southern hospitality. You treat everybody with respect. It doesn't matter if you know the person that's driving down the road. Y'all both hit that shoulder and throw up a hello, wave at each other. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody's uncle that I do know. Yeah. Like, I'm a wave, and I don't know. It's just a Southern hospitality thing. Yeah. Black people can't be country. It's absolutely wild. I know so many country people that are black.
Yeah, which is great. I just never saw that growing up. Like, until I moved to Houston, I did not realize how many black people are country. One, not only are country, but just love country music, love all that. Like, but I feel like, I was just like mind blown to that because just where I grew up, it just was not, like, I never saw that at all.
Yeah, trail rides are amazing. So much fun. Music's great, food's great, vibes are great.
But
that's
yeah, so
wild.
if you're a black person watching this and you've never listened to country music, or maybe you
Listen to
have,
country
because I
music.
feel like I had listened to country music, but it was just like, like I don't like, because I truly, my heart was so hardened to the fact that like that is a white people thing, like that is not my type of thing. If I do that, like then I'm considered white, especially because I grew up like I never wore braids or like did anything, like I always had like my natural curly hair, and so like I always got, and I played soccer, like which all my I was like one of the only black girls, if not there was one other black girl like on the entire team. So I just grew up like always being like, oh, you're a white girl, like da da da's, like, oh, you talk like this, you're a white girl, da da da. So then when it came to like music, I was definitely like, oh no, that's something I'm not gonna give y'all. Like I'm not like, sure,
That's
whatever,
fair.
say whatever you want, but I was so hardened to the fact that I was like, I don't like, country music is for white people. Like, I'm not going to listen to it. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, I remember at U of H, like, all the soccer girls, like, even a couple of the black girls were like, we're going to Houston Rodeo. Like, you want to come? And I literally was like, no. Like, what am I going to do at the rodeo? Like, rodeo? No. Like, cowboy boots and all that. Like, I was literally so like, no. And then I meet this one, and he was playing country music, and I was like, I don't want to listen to this, like, at all. So I would say I had it a little bit better because I feel like I was falling in love with you, and so it made me also fall in love with country music because you would play it all the time. But it also just opened up my mind to, because before I didn't allow myself to even give it a chance. And so
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a black person and you're watching this, and if you have that same type of mindset, like, because I know there are other people out there who do, just give it a chance. Like, I feel like music should never be a color thing.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
that is just crazy. When you really think about it, like, what? Music is music. Like, either you like it or you don't. Like, why should music have to do with color of your skin? Like,
Yeah.
like what? That sounds so stupid. Like,
I feel like every big genre's got like, it has to have at least one good song that you like. Like, there's no
Right?
way.
No.
There's no way rap is as big as it is, and you don't like one rap
Yeah.
song. One? Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be like a good number of them. You just gotta find them. Same thing with opera. I don't know an opera song, but it was such a big category. I'm sure there's
is that
one.
Oh,
yeah.
everybody.
That sounded so good.
Oh, it did.
Girl, you got a
You're trying to
talent.
play me right now.
I'm sure there's one good
That's
opera
an
song.
opera
though.
song. That's a good song. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
No, do it again. Maybe I didn't get it the first time. But there's always gonna be something good in a genre. Like, you just gotta find it. Find what you like.
Yeah.
If you are gonna listen to country music for the first time, I wouldn't listen to too much of the new stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe some. Like, there's
The
some.
Post Malone and Morgan Wallen song
That's catchy.
that song
That is
sounds really
catchy.
good.
Listen
that's
to
coming out.
like some big names. Like listen to like a Tim McGraw song or something.
Oh yeah.
Like one of Tim McGraw's songs.
Rascal
good.
Flatts.
Actually listen
I feel
to
like
it, though.
everyone knows Rascal Flats. Like, I would say that's probably the only country music that I had known and actually liked before, but that's because of Cars.
A lot of George Strait. George Strait's great.
There also are some really good black country artists.
Yeah, Darius Rucker.
Darius
Listen to
Rucker.
any-
Listen
so
to his
many of his
stuff. Yeah, I remember when James first played Darius Rucker for the first time. I think I remember you asking, like, I was listening to the song and you're like, oh, what do you think he looks like? And I was like, I don't know. Like, like every other country's artist. When he showed me that he was black, I was like, wait, what? Had no idea. Like, yeah.
Yeah, Darius is great. There's a lot of good country black artists for sure.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot more. That Buckle Bunny girl.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I'm a
catchy.
Buckle Bunny.
I'm a Buckle Bunny. Yeah. She's been going crazy. No, that was good. There's a lot of guys that have been blowing up too. That's actually exciting though. It's like expanding the genre of country music. Beyonce, that's another topic.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get into that.
There's definitely some great people coming up. I'm excited about that too. What were we talking about though? We were talking about raising kids, huh?
Oh, yeah, before you got up to use the bathroom. How do you feel about influencers who want to show their kids on social media versus those who don't show their kids on social media?
I mean, me personally, I think I'm gonna show my kids. My kids are gonna be around me. I'm gonna be making videos. Like, yeah, I feel like it's just part of the territory. I'm gonna show my kids. I don't know. I feel like people are weird. The more you don't show them, the more they have like a fetish over it.
Of wanting to see.
Yeah, like the people that blur out their kid's face. Like, not that it's wrong. Like, do what you feel is right, but I feel like somebody
like
just
almost,
wants to see it more. They're
like
like more obsessed. They're like weird about it.
You feel like it attracts people to want to see the kid more rather than just them not having them in the content at all.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Some people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
maybe they have.
I could see why it'd be difficult. Yeah, because honestly, there was a point in time, like, we don't even have kids yet, and there was a point, I think whenever, I can't even tell you when exactly it was. It was a while ago though, I remember us talking now, and I was like, honestly, when we have kids, I don't think I want to show them on social media. Like, I don't think I want to put them on social media. I don't know what was going on around that time. There was a lot of different stuff going on around that time that just made me be like, bro, I can't, like, I think literally my whole, I think it was Sound of Freedom, but also my entire, like, For You page was just, like, all this, like, stuff about, like, like, it was just, like, I couldn't. I was like, there's no, like, I can't put our kids on social media. But then, honestly, the more time just went on, and, like, I think it's something that God will put on our heart, and he'll speak to us whenever the time happens, and that, you know, either we'll do it or we don't, you know, like, we could be doing it for a couple years, and then all of a sudden feel like we don't want to do it, you know, like, or vice, you know, so I feel like it's tough, because I feel like I have seen a lot of people get, like, crap about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's your life, it's your kid, and if you think that's best for your kid, then it probably is best for your kid. And there's no harm in not putting them on it. I feel like there's more harm in putting them on it. So, like, if you don't, then it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like some people's decisions making is just terrible. Like... We're not going to, like, embarrass our kid and post that video. Like, some people post some wild videos of their kids.
That I'm like, if my parents would have posted that and it had 1 million views, and I grow up and I'm, like, 18, 20, 25 years old, and I'm like, I'd be like, why? That's the only thing. Like, I don't want our kids to ever look at a video when they get older and be like, Mom, Dad, like, why did you post that? Like, that's so embarrassing.
We had seen one, like, just the cover photo. It was wild. It was like something about potty training, and the kid was actually on the toilet and whatever. I was like, that's just too far. Like, why? Why
that was
do
a long
that?
time ago.
You remember that?
I think so, vaguely.
I was like, why do that? That's weird. You know, there's people out there that are just weird like that. I'm not ever putting my kid in a situation.
That should be, like, I feel like your number one concern, but also it's just like, you think that when they get older, they're not gonna be pissed that, like, they're little, like, they were on the toilet and you're filming them being potty trained, like, you know, like, I think it's another thing to talk about it and to maybe be like, okay, like, little Johnny is, like, going and doing this, or or this is how we're potty training him, or this is how we're dealing with potty training, versus, like, actually filming them. Like, it's crazy. Like, why? Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're very aware of that stuff, though. Like, I'm not for none of that.
We don't have a kid, so we don't really know exactly how it's going to be, but I'm confident in this, in our decision making, so hopefully.
I am too. I think we'll be great.
Yeah, I think so too. So we're going to start doing this thing where at the end of our podcast, we're going to answer a question that you guys leave on the previous episode. The silence is crazy. Like, the silence, how quiet.
I know, right?
I didn't hear anything. But yeah, so we'll answer it on the next podcast. So make sure you leave a comment and ask us a question. All right, guys. Well, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.